Hi guys, welcome to another episode of SCN. On today's show, we're going to be talking about servicing and maintaining your motor vehicle. And to end off with, as always, we've got a couple of funny videos highlighting cars that have clearly never seen a workshop in years. Now, on today's show, we really do want to focus on the big service on your car. We're not talking about a small service. We're not talking about checking the oil and water. We're talking about the guys out there, and you know who you are, who haven't serviced your car for 20, 30, 40,000 kilometers. You know the big spend's coming, and I want to try and give you as much advice as I can so you can maximize what you're going to be spending on that car, trying to get it back into tip-top shape. Now, as always on the show, we like to highlight one or two suppliers that really do know what they're talking about. And on this week's show, Dekra again comes into focus. If you've got a big service bill coming up on your car and you know it, before you take it to a technician, before you take it out there to a workshop, my advice is the following. Dekra run a special program on a maintenance and undercarriage inspection. It is an inspection that's going to cost you money. It's going to cost you 1,400 Rand, but believe me, this could be the best 1,400 Rand you're ever going to spend. You book your car into Dekra, they will go through the car bumper to bumper. They will check the undercarriage, they will check all of the body parts on the car, and they'll check all of the mechanics on the car. Now, the reason that's important is once the Dekra inspection is completed, you will then have a list of faults on that car. A lot of things you may have not picked up, and Dekra will also talk you through the report and highlight what's very serious and needs to be attended to quite quickly, and what you can leave for maybe a later date. You can then fax that or mail that Dekra inspection report to one or two different workshops. Let those workshops give you a costing on the work that's been highlighted by Dekra. The stuff that you know needs to be done immediately, highlighted on the report. Let the different garages send you back quotes based on the Dekra inspection. So rather than having to drive around with your car, you simply mail the report to 2 or 3 different workshops and let them all compete for your business. So what's going to happen is each workshop will then give you a quote on the work that you want undertaken based on the Dekra technical inspection. Now that's important. It means you're not putting yourself in the hands of just one technician. You've allowed 2 or 3 different technicians to quote on doing the work for you. On that basis, I'm not saying the cheapest technician needs to get the work. What you do need to do is when you go to visit the technician with your car, have a look around at the quality of the workshop. Look at how many cars they've got in, look at the quality of the cars they've got in, and look at the infrastructure of the business. You will be able to tell a good operator from a bad one normally by looking at the quality of the work that he's got in his workshop, and also look at the kind of service you receive when you arrive. These are very, very important things to undertake before you go and drop your car off. Do a little bit of homework on this, guys. I promise you, it will save you money in the long run. You're now going to go to a workshop. You're going to go and speak to a technician in a workshop, and he's going to ask you exactly what you want done on your car. Now, without that report, you're going to give the car and the keys over to the guy. He's going to have a look at the car and come back with a grocery list. Now, once you get the grocery list from the technician, you don't know what's important, what isn't important. And again, these guys may recommend you do absolutely everything. With the report in hand, you can sit with the technician. He can start giving you a basic understanding of what it's going to cost to put the car right as per the Dekra inspection report. So you've got a basis for a job card. A job card is the piece of paper you sign when you drop your car off at a mechanic. So what you do is you sit down with the mechanic, you tell him what's wrong with your car, he makes a few notes, he will then send you a quote as to what the car's going to cost to get it repaired properly. Now, you need to fill your job card in properly. What you don't want is sticker shock. You don't want to leave your car, just sign a blank form, and the guy phones you a day later and says, listen, you owe me 15,000 Rand, I've undertaken the following work. You need to agree up front exactly what the technician is going to be doing to your car. Exactly what the workshop are going to carry out on your car needs to be agreed upon before you sign the job card and give them the go-ahead to complete the work. You need to understand what you're going to be in for. Now, that's not always easy for a technician. He takes your car in, once he's stripped it out, let's say, for example, you wanted to do just pads on your car. He'll put the car on the ramp, he'll take the wheels off, he'll see the pads need to be changed, but then also the discs either need to be skimmed or replaced. Now, this is not something he could have seen without stripping the wheels off first to get to that particular part of the car. So understand, a technician can never be absolutely on the money when he's quoting you on what kind of cost you're going to be in for. So once again, I'm saying to you, do the Dekra inspection on your car, spend the money up front, present the technician who's going to be doing the job of work for you a basic job card. Let him attend to the issues that Dekra have pointed out to you and highlighted that need to be done. Don't let him sell you services that are not required short term. If you want to do everything on the DECRA report, by all means do. But they will let you know, and DECRA will let you understand what's important that gets done immediately on your car, and you can manage your spend on that basis.
Nick, does the technician need to phone you if he needs to do extra work?
Listen, very good question. And I've got to tell you, this is something that doesn't happen a lot of the time. When you sit down with a technician, when you sign the job card before the work is undertaken, it's imperative that the technician or the workshop manager understands before he goes ahead and does any work on the car that hasn't already been agreed to and costed, he needs to phone you with permission to be able to carry on the job. What you don't want to do is just sign a blank check when you hand your car over. So the work needs to be properly itemized and it needs to be properly costed. Now that can't necessarily happen when you drop your car off. So what might happen is you're going to drop your car off, you're going to sign only the job card that says you've now dropped your car off with the technician. Until such time as you've received and accepted a quote, they will not undertake any work, or they should not undertake any work. You need to understand how much money you're going to be in for before they start doing the job. Once the guys have started, you're already going to be paying labor. So what you can't do is mess the workshop around. They can't stop and start on your motor vehicle. They will bill you an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours labor. So the more concise the job card, the more focused the technician, the quicker the turnaround time on the job, and the closer they can get to their quote in terms of a final cost on the car. Once the car's finished at your chosen workshop, the beauty with DECRA is then you take the car back to DECRA. It's going to cost you 400 Rand for a retest, but once again, DECRA will go through the car. They will then be able to ascertain if the job card that you put together, the DECRA report you put together, if the items have been attended to. So if it needed 5 or 6 or 7 different jobs done, how do you know? You drop your car off at a workshop, they bill you 3,000 or 4,000 Rand. In some cases, it's the most expensive car wash you've ever had. The guys have hardly touched your car. The beauty of going back to DECRA for the retest, and this can be done within 60 days of the original test being carried out, DECRA will have a look at the vehicle, they will go back over the original report, and they will be able to tell you if the technician has in fact carried out everything he's told you he's carried out, and on your bill from the workshop that's undertaken, there should be a breakdown of all the parts and the labor and everything that was attended to. DECRA can inspect that. If they haven't attended to all of the items, you will go back to the technician and you'll bring it to his attention and let them rectify it. Can you get a discount on work to be carried out? Absolutely. Like all vendors of services, you can sit down, you can negotiate a price. If you're going to be spending big money, and I'm talking about 10, 15, 20, 25,000 Rand on your car, again, it makes sense to spend the 1,400 Rand with DECRA if you know your bill's going to be that big. But if you're going to spend that kind of money with a workshop, allow them to understand that you're obviously going to be paying on delivery. So you're going to take delivery. When you get your car collected, you're going to be paying. But negotiate a little bit of a discount with the guys. Let them understand you've got a bit of a budget. You're always going to work to it. 90% of the workshops out there will allow you to haggle a little bit on the price. A little bit on the price. Remember, a lot of the price is made up on a labor rate. And obviously, they've got a lot of they sometimes have quite a bit of profit on the parts. Not always. So don't be too hard on the guys. 5, 7, 8, 9, maybe 10% would be a great number to get knocked off your bill. But this is something you need to understand up front. You don't want to sign for a price, then get there and start haggling. They won't entertain that kind of thing. They need to know what you're prepared to pay for the service. You need to understand what you're going to be billed for the service. So by all means, ask for a discount, but when it's discounted and when it's agreed, sign for it. Now guys, I know that was a lot of information to take in, but let me highlight it and summarize it for you real briefly. My advice, take your car to DECRA, spend the money, get the inspection report. Take that inspection report, mail it to several different workshops, let them all be able to compete for your business. Once you've picked one you're going to go to, go and have a look around, make sure you like what you see in terms of the quality of the work being undertaken. Negotiate on the price of the job that they're going to be carrying it out, let them know you intend taking the car back to DECRA as well. These are a couple of key points. I promise you do that, get your car serviced and get it serviced nicely. Our video this week, a couple of cars that have clearly never even seen a workshop. See what I mean? Those cars are clearly not even worth the cost of a Decker inspection. Thanks very much for watching, guys, and don't forget to smash that like button. Check out the original videos on the links below. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and subscribe if you haven't already. I've been Nick, it's been real. We'll see you soon.
Surf4Cars. ViralVidsAZ.